My assets currently put me at a status of a millionaire. Lalela sana, angisabambeki ke. From today going forward, you shall not catch me. How do I start this video when I know what I know? You know, as I was planning this video, it's just like the things that were coming to my mind were, let us be the generation that prioritizes wealth. Let us be the generation that celebrates when someone hits their milestone when it comes to their finances, that they've saved this much, that the goal that they have set for themselves, that they were able to save. Let us be the generation that flaunts that, you know what, you were able to save 50K or 100K, you were able to buy a house. You know, as much as we do all of these things on social media where we share that you bought your first car, you bought your first house, you hit all of these milestones, the way that we celebrate when someone is getting married or when it's a birthday. Let us also be the generation that celebrates financial success. I want to see the balloons of 100K that you have invested or that you have saved. I want to see those goals. I want to see those balloons of I hit a 1 million. I'm a millionaire. I want to see those because, guys, for me, the journey started when I first encountered Nicolette Mashile and she shared that she is a millionaire. She shared that she just made her first million. And that time I was still battling with my finances. I was still drowning in debt. I was still trying to make sense of everything regarding my finances. And I saw the videos of that lady, Nicolette Mashile, and my life ever since then has never been the same. And so that is why I'm saying I want to see those types of celebrations because that is where we can draw inspiration. That is also where we can change our narrative of success. Instead of looking at people because they drive the most expensive cars, they own the most expensive, you know, brands or Gucci, or Bano, LV, whoever those brands are, and we then deem those people to be successful. I want us to actually look at what is real success, and the only way we can start understanding real success is when people share their milestone when it comes to their finances. So this is a challenge to you that if you have set yourself a goal that you want to save 50K, 10K, 100K, however amount that you have set yourself as a goal, celebrate that and please share that because that is where we are going to motivate each other. That is where we're also going to educate each other that there are other things beyond luxury goods, luxury item and material things that are more important. What are you leaving behind when you pass on? That is also just as important. So with that being said, on today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how much I own versus how much I owe. That's basically my net worth. So I'm going to be sharing with you my net worth because turns out Ugutu girl is a millionaire, and all along I thought I still have a long way to go. You know, as I was doing the calculations, I almost started tearing up. Like I felt the tears coming in my eyes because I could not believe it. So let us get into it. So at first I want us to understand what is a net worth. So a net worth is basically a measure of how much you are worth. So we're looking here in terms of how much you own versus how much you owe. So that is what is net worth. This is where we get into wealth as well. You know, why it's important for me to know my net worth, you know, and also to work towards building my net worth, you know, because it's not just a matter of knowing how much am I worth, but rather building it so that it can grow. For me, it's important because of how I grew up. So we can say that it stems from financial trauma. It stems from childhood trauma. And I'm not ashamed to admit that, you know, because I know that it is from that I am this woman that I am today. It is from that I'm so determined today to better my finances, to achieve success and the level of success that I had never seen in my life. For me, I don't get inspired by seeing someone buying the next car, seeing someone buying the next expensive bag, seeing someone moving in a luxury house and all the stuff. I don't get inspired by that. I get inspired by the things that people do not want to pay attention on. I get inspired when I see people that are living debt free. I get inspired when I see people that are retiring at the age of 30 something, 40 something, and they're living off their hard earned money, and they're living off their investments. Their money is working for them, that's paying them a salary each and every month, that they no longer have to wake up and go to work. For me, those are the things that inspires me. So when I look at my net worth, or when I think of my net worth and why it's so important for me to know and work towards improving it, I'm thinking of that ideal. I'm not thinking of the next house. I'm not thinking of a car. I'm not thinking of material things, but I'm rather thinking of freedom. I'm thinking of freedom, the level of freedom that I can have and actually achieve by me working on improving my net worth. Let us go into how do you go about calculating your net worth. Your net worth is a calculation of how much you own, in terms of your assets versus how much you owe in terms of your liabilities. And for a long time, if I'm being honest, I did not understand this. I thought that if I own property, if I have property and I'm owing in that property, I can never count that under my net worth. Turns out that you actually can. What you own is, if I own property, that is what I own. So I need to look at the value of that property and then in conjunction to how much I owe. But we're gonna go deeper into the calculations of mine. Then maybe you can do yours if you're inspired to do that. I know it can be a very scary thing to do this, it can be a very scary thing, but I'm so inspired today. I'm so inspired. So now let us get into mine in terms of what I own versus what I owe. So I'm going to start with the highest. We're going to start with the highest and we work our way down in terms of value. We're going to start with the highest and work our way down to the smallest. So we're going to start first with my property. So I bought this property where I'm filming right now. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom property that I bought in 2019. When I bought it, it was on sale for $699 and I got it for $550. And then later on borrowed in that excess to do the renovations of this house. So which then increased the amount of money that I was owing. So then I had to work my way back now. I recently called SA Home Loan just to find out how much it is worth, looking at the growth rate per year. So the number that they gave me is 2 years old. 2 years old when they last looked at the evaluations. And at that time, that last figure when I spoke to them, and this is last month, and I asked them, like, how much is my property worth? Because I was considering selling my property. There was a point whereby a buyer was here with cash and they wanted to buy my property, and I wanted to know how much is it worth. Am I not losing money, because this person wanted to buy in cash. And I'm so glad that sale didn't happen, because now that I know what I know, I'm just like, I almost sold my property at a loss because my property is worth more than that. So what she said is that based on the last 2 years calculations, based on the past 2 years calculation, the property was worth $750,000. So the amount of money that I'm putting here, I'm putting $750,000, but I do know that it is worth more because of the renovations that I've done here as well. I think if I were to get someone to come and evaluate my property, it could be slightly more. Maybe it could be close to 800,000 or even more. Like, I know that right now, if I were to put my property for sale in the market, I will put it for 800,000 and nothing less. So, but I don't want to over assume. I'm going to use the figure that I was given by SA Home Loans and say that, okay, in terms of the worth of my property right now, it is 750,000. So I put here 750,000. And then the second one is my pension. Now, for the longest time, I didn't know how much I have in my pension, how much I've contributed in my pension. Now, remember, if you work for government, you contribute and then your employer contributes more than what you contribute. So from that, I did check this month. I did check this month to find out how much do I have under my pension, because I didn't know all along. And I've only been in service for 8 years, you guys. I haven't been in service for a long time. It's just that in those 8 years, I've grown and my income, my salary has went up drastically from when I started 8 years ago on level 6. Now we're talking on level 10. So my pension, in terms of how much money I have right now on my pension, it is 685,000 that I have currently. So I put that there in terms of how much I have because that is actually you, when you're counting your, when you're looking at your net worth, you need to also look at your pension, your retirement funds, and all the stuff. Not life covers and funeral covers, they don't count. Life covers and what, no, but you are looking at your retirement funds. So if you've got a retirement annuity, pension fund, you need to include all of that in, ne? So I added my pension, which is currently sitting at 685,000, and then I added my tax-free account. I went into Easy Equities. My tax-free account currently is sitting at 80,800 rands. And then another one is my individual stocks, and this is still under equity. It is still under Easy Equities, and that is worth 23,350. So that is just my individual stocks. And then for my Frank, I've got 3 funds, ne? I've got first the one where it's invested on money markets, Cetrix Top 40, as well as S&P 500. This is my emergency fund. This is currently sitting at 83,150, ne? And then under Frank as well, I've got my savings, because Frank recently introduced savings as a component under their platform. So you are able to save instead of investing. You can still invest, but now you are also able to tap into savings, normal savings, and they start at the rate of 5%. But if you've got a pro account, then you do get 7%. So I upgraded to a pro account, and right now my savings are at a rate of 7%. So if you want to start to say, oh, by the way, I do want to say this, and this is not sponsored by Frank by any means, guys. It's just that I do have an affiliate link. So if you don't have the Frank app as yet, use my link, ne? So they are running currently a savings challenge. It's called Save to Win. So if you have a Frank app but you do not have the savings account yet, activate the savings account, and then deposit your 100 rand. That 100 rands automatically enters you into a draw. So the more money you put, the more entries that you get towards winning 5,000 by the end of this month. I think by the end of this month, they will then do the draw of the person that has won the 5,000. So don't sleep on this. If you want to start saving and you do have the Frank app, even if you don't have the Frank app, use my link, guys. Download the app and then start saving. So I'm going to leave the link of the Frank app on my description down below. This is my unique link. So for me, I put here savings 8,000. Another fund that I have under Frank. So as I said, I've got 3 funds. The 8,000 falls under my emergency fund, by the way. So this is money that I decided that while I'm working on my emergency fund, let me not invest it, since now they've got a savings component. Let me take these contributions and put them under a savings account. That way I know that, okay, they are not subject to how the market is looking, even though my portfolio is not really that much subject to how the market is performing because of how I broke it down. Majority of it is on the money market. So I have, as I said, the third fund that I have here is my child's education fund. This is money that I'm putting away for my daughter, so that when come time for her to go to university, there is some money that can cover at least first year of her tuition cost, or at least 2 years of her tuition cost. So far, how much I have is 26,650. Last year I did withdraw from this fund because we're short of the fees for school, so I had to withdraw, but I haven't withdrawn since. But right now it's sitting at 26,650. And then I've got my stokvel that I'm playing. Now the stokvel, I included it here, even though this money I'm going to receive it in January and use it in January, because this money that I'm putting under stokvel is for my daughter's school fees. So together with her dad, we put in money. So from the contribution that we have in there, I only calculated what I've contributed, not the total of what we have in the stokvel, because portion of that is the contribution from her dad and a portion of that is my contribution. So I wanted to just look at my contribution alone, so that I do not count other people's money into my net worth. So From that, in the stokvel money, how much I've put in there is about 10,000. Could be more by a few rands. But I just said okay, 10,000 just to round it off. And then the last one is crypto. Now, crypto, I invested in crypto a while ago. I think 2019. I haven't sold the money that I have in there because the market just went down after that. I'm waiting for it to pick up. Ever since Trump has been elected, it has been picking up, and so right now the value is sitting at 7,000. Now, I'm not gonna count my cash in my bank. You should be counting cash in your bank as well, like in your transactional account and so forth. I'm not gonna count that because I just feel like that money is gonna be gone like in few days, so I'm not gonna count that. I also have physical cash that I'm gonna cash stuff, but I'm not gonna count that into my net worth. But you should be counting that. Any money that you have, you should be counting it under cash, because that's your liquid cash. Majority of these things, they're not liquid, except for they're majority of that of my money. A majority of the things that I own, they're not liquid, but you should be counting your liquid assets as well in terms of your cash. How much cash do you have? When you add everything together of everything that I've spoken to you about, when you add it all together, it sits at 1,673 rands and 950. That is how much assets I have. That's how much I own. Over 1.6 million. Now, let us look at what I owe now, because now I need to take what I own and then I need to minus what I owe, and then we'll then see how much net worth I have, where I'm sitting at. In terms of how much the first one I'm going to look at, I only have 3 things that I owe, guys. Who is this? I used to have a list of debts. The first thing that I owe is my property, As I said, I bought this property at 550,000, then borrowed into it to do renovations in this house. So it took, instead of my debt going down, it was going down. I think I was on 530 something when I borrowed into it, but I borrowed into it because I knew that what I bought it for and how much it was selling for, there was an excess, so I borrowed from that money. So currently I'm owing 556,000 into my bond. So that's the first debt that I have. My property, it is currently sitting at 556,000. And that is when I checked last time. This is not minusing how much I've paid, minusing what I've paid this month. It's from how much they told me I owe when I made that call, beginning of this month or end of October, when I made the call to SA Home Loans. So that's how much I'm currently sitting. I currently owe 556,000. And then the second one that I owe is NSFAS. I envy the girls and the guys that got NSFAS and they don't have to pay it off. And today they're posting on TikTok and Instagram that they're building houses at home. They're renovating houses. They're building houses for their grandmothers and their grandparents and their parents. I envy those people, those girls that are buying cars and those guys that are buying cars with NSFAS money that they will not have to pay back. I envy them, honestly. And angibadleli umona, they were born at the right time. Ketina, who were born at the wrong time, we are paying for NSFAS. So currently, my debt was not going down, but for some reason, it's been going down now. It's been going down, and I haven't increased how much money I pay into this, but it's been going down. Because I remember last year, I was sitting on 48 something. Right now, I'm sitting on 37,000 that I'm owing on my NSFAS account. Whoop, whoop. If I wanted to pay this thing off, I could pay it off. But looking at how much money I pay per month, which is 500 rands, and the fact that I'm going to have to part away with 30-something thousand rands, it doesn't make financial sense for me. So I would rather pay that 500 rands. I don't mind. It doesn't, because I feel like even if I were to pay it off, the difference of the 500 rands, I will not see it, nor will I feel it in my finances. It's fine. So I'm going to keep paying for it the way that I'm paying for it until I'm done paying for it. That's that's my goal. I'm not in any rush to pay off NSFAS, guys. You can judge me all you want. Judge me, it's fine. And then the last debt that I have is for my phone. I bought this phone. I know people on TikTok say my iPhone man mang bought cash kesana. Mine was not bought cash. It was bought using debt, and that is because I knew that this is for me. It's my money making machine. It's my money making machine. I film my content here. Brands pay me a lot of money because of this phone. So it's an investment for me. But either way, I owe money on it. So I think I owe about 11,000 because last time when I called them, I think that was around May. Yeah, around May, I was owing around 14,000. That's how much I was owing. And so now I was just looking at, okay, now I think it's roughly around 11,000. It could be less, but I'm just going to put it on 11,000. So I am paying for this, and I do want to pay it off. I think next year I'm going to pay it off. I'll call through and find out how much I owe, and then I'm going to pay it off. However amount that is there, I'll just pay it off, but just not now. Next year I will though. But it's also one of those debts that don't bother me because I make the money that the money that I've made using this phone has far surpassed how much I owe, including the interest. It has far surpassed that. So those are the three things that I owe. Ne? So when you tally everything up, it comes out to 604. No, it comes out to 604,000. Yeah, 604,000. That is how much I owe. This is amazing. This is amazing, honestly. Okay, so now we're gonna say what I own minus what I owe. So what I own is 1,673,000. Yeah, 1,673,000. That is how much I have in terms of my assets. Then when you minus 604,000, it then comes to 1,069,000. 1,069,000. That is how much it comes to, which means that I am officially a millionaire. I am officially a millionaire, you guys. I am sitting on a millionaire status, kesana. Oh my God. I'm sitting on a millionaire status, kesana. You know, we are there, sana. We have reached it. We reached it. Guys, you don't know how happy I am. And someone will say, but it's not like money you can just have now. It's not like you have millions sitting in your bank account. When we're looking at net worth, guys, we are not looking at money sitting in your bank account. We are looking at your assets. Your assets are far more valuable than money sitting in your bank account. And for me to know that my assets currently put me at a status of a millionaire. Lalela sana, angisabambeki ke. From today going forward, you shall not catch me. You shall not catch me. Angisabambeki. Ngibalekile sana. You shall not catch me. You shall not. There is no going back from today. There is no going back, son. Guys, I got papa. Oh my God, guys, I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I'm so emotions I'm so many emotions at once. And the reason why I'm so happy, guys, is because I know where I come from. I know where I come from. How many times have I said that? 3 times. I almost said it the 4th time. To where I am now, you have to celebrate this. You have to be happy about this. You can't come from where I'm coming from. From a child that grew up in poverty, that was mocked for going to school without school shoes, walking barefoot, to not eating, not knowing what she is going to eat when she gets home, not having food, not having lunch at school, and going home and knowing very well that she's still going to be hungry. That child, guys, has made it. That child is the child sitting here today. The child celebrating that she is worth over $1 million. Do you understand that? Oh my God. Ooh. It's that same child that would go to school hungry, come back hungry, will come back at school, guys, smang is core, have to fight over the remains of uput, the last part of uput, will literally have to fight over that. It's that child, guys. Like, it is that same child. Today she is celebrating, or she's celebrating, because I'm celebrating, and I'm celebrating it with you, because I just found out today, as I was preparing for this video, that I'm sitting on a millionaire status, that I'm a millionaire. I'm first gen millionaire, and that has never existed in my family. It has never existed in my family. The only thing we know in my family is struggle. The only thing we know, yes, when my father was alive, we lived a rich life, but there was only a few months, few years of my life, because she passed on when I was doing grade 2. So you can imagine, from grade 2 back, when I started being conscious of my surroundings, that it was only few years that I know that life. But the majority of life that I know is a life of struggle. My mom didn't come from a rich family. The only thing she knows is a struggle, guys. That's what we know. I've come to the end of this video. I'm filming this on a Sunday, and I'm gonna post it today, later on in the day, maybe around 1. But I wanted to film this. I wanted this to be the video for today. That, yeah, let me just end it here. Let me end it here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you so much for the support. From here, clearly we're working towards, because from here it's 1,069,000. 1,069,000. So from here we're working to 1.5 million. Then from there 2 million, and more and more and more. I believe that I'll keep working to more and more and more. But more than anything, just knowing what I know now honestly makes everything worth it. Yes, it may not be money in my bank, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is my net worth. My net worth. If I were to pass on right now, this is what I would leave for my child. So for me, it makes everything worth it. It makes everything worth it. And I'm so energized right now to keep going. I'm so fired up right now to keep going, to keep persisting, to keep working hard, to keep making those decisions, and not compromising. I'm inspired right now. I'm honestly inspired. I hope that this inspires you as well. I hope that this is enlightening to you. I hope that this is motivational to you. I hope that this does not discourage you in any way. I hope that this does not kill your spirit in any way, but rather inspires you. That it is possible for you. It is possible. Anything is possible for you as well. Yes, if you are struggling right now and you are in that struggle, you may look like it's just not going to happen. But trust me, things change. They change over time. Not overnight, but over time they do change. So do not lose hope. Do not lose faith. With that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.